there are some cars that you forget ever existed. Many have come and gone, and the ones that are forgotten are for good reason. Maybe it was due to a lack of likeness. Maybe it was due to an extremely high price that pushed everybody away. Maybe it was due to a godforsaken unreliability rating. Or it could be any of those, all of those together. And this is one of the cars that I just really forgot about. I don't really see it. I don't really hear it being talked about. And I just don't see this thing pretty much anywhere. But looking into it, it's a lot more interesting than it seems. This thing packs a speed of 7, a handling 7.1, acceleration of 7.4, a launch of 8.9, which is actually really, really good, and braking of 7.4. And this thing is on the A tier with 772, rear-wheel drive, and a total of 85,000 cracked rooms. Hey, I don't know how many cracked rooms there are in the world, but that's a lot of them. The color options on this are very, very interesting. It's like they kind of got a couple of each for some. But one that stands out to me are just these greens right here. Now this one is just more of like on the blue side of the green, of greenish blue. And then this one's more on the green side of greenish blue. Or just full on green. But green is just one color that's just very, very interesting, you know? Like, when you don't really see a car with this specific green a lot. So, you know it's a looker when it passes by. Then you got, you know, some other colors that are pretty cool to see. And then you got your, this is more of a beige actually, which I kind of do appreciate. I'd like to see more beige colors on cars. That's actually pretty cool. And then, you know, your typical blacks. And then with gray, you know, there's a gray in there. This one's kind of weird, because this one's like a, looks like a aged puke. If I could put it, if I could term it. Like, this is not a good look on it. Maybe it may fit in like a certain area, you know, if you were just in like the city and there was like a bunch of rich people seeing this car in this color, you may be like, okay, I haven't seen that before. Yeah, it's a Lotus. I'll give it a pass. But my gosh, this thing looks like a Shrek turd, dog. So me personally, I just wouldn't really, I don't really like that much. And then there's this, which kind of is a bit better, but not my type of color. And then, you know, your shiny white. So it really has some good options. Has some really good things here. But I want to see all the good things on the track. I'm gonna take this thing for a test drive. Going into it, it does seem like it has everything that somebody would want in a car. Really cool looks, performance, prestige. Okay, well, maybe not everybody wants prestige, but you know, for the ones that really do want it, it's there. But it seems like it's very, very capable. And it seems impressive as well. So there could be many reasons as to why people don't really think about it much. I don't really think these things are aggressively priced either. I don't think it's too terrible. I'm unsure if the MSRPs are accurate on for these cars. So if so, you already know how much it is. And if that is the case, it really isn't that much compared to like what a lot of cars are worth. But then again, it's like you don't see this thing a lot, so that kind of makes you wonder, why would people buy one car that isn't as nearly as capable as this one? Or is it that there are many cars that are capable way more capable than this that are cheaper. And have to ask yourself that question. A lot of the prestigious cars and stuff have a super high price tag. For good reason though too. I mean, I bet you get what you pay for it. But this one seems to be priced pretty competitively compared to a lot of cars. But even if that's the case, me not seeing it around, me not, hearing it being talked about, that kind of just makes me wonder. All it really does. What I can really say is I'm not too big of a fan of the rear end of this car. And it's more so of like when I look to the side, I don't like cars that just like slit at the back in some type of way. A lot of classic cars do that, like the Datsun. I think it's either the 240Z or the 280. One of them, I just don't like that it just slants so hard. Same thing with the Ford GT. This one, I just don't like it. I don't like that it does that. It's so weird to me. But it looks better because at least it just slants in a certain position. This just like, it's like C-shaped in a way. So, I don't know, it's odd. One very unique thing though is that I don't see any other car producing this color. I mean, it's a really nice color. If you look at it, it's really nice. Really, really nice color. And that's why I like when car manufacturers kind of push, for different things. Have some variety. Give some people some options. Just single them out to like one fancy color and then, different types of blacks and whites and grays. A little bit of fun in there, a little bit of creativity. Don't be afraid to splatter. Oh my gosh. They weren't afraid to get into an accident, it seems. Do you guys still enjoy bacon even when there's like all that fat on it? Like, that's just one thing I kind of looked at when I'm eating bacon. I'm just like, wow. It's like 80% of this is like fat, and then like the other 20 is just actual pork. And I wonder about that, I mean, I still like them, eat it, but it's so weird how it's just like just as thick and just as crunchy. It's just fat. Like that's all, you're just eating fat. That's all it is. It's odd to me. It really is. I think I know the demographic for this car. It may be obvious, but this is obviously the spoiled rich kid car. And there's a lot of contenders for that category, but I think this one just like almost takes the cake. I mean, think about it. It's expensive, obviously, but like it's not like extremely expensive to where someone, like or a parent to like, yeesh, like even rich parents would be like, oh my, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's fitting for like a starter car for a rich kid. It's got 2 seats, and it's just like, it's compact in a way. Not small, compact. Not in terms of space, but in terms of the size of the car. Like, this thing is riding lower than that Focus RS back there. And it's not, like, long. I don't think it's longer than, like a Camaro. I think it's actually shorter than a Camaro. Just that type of, that rich kid car stereotype. You see a 2-seater, may or may not be a convertible. It's expensive, but not outrageously expensive, but only outrageously expensive for a teenager. I just think this one really fits it, Here's the thing. Not only have I barely seen this car in my entire life, I've never seen anybody or hear anybody floor it. It's like, when I see these drive by, it's just like almost silent in a way. Almost silent. And I just wonder, I want to hear a Lotus in real life. You know, I want to hear one. You know, revving it up. I need car manufacturers to make electric cars look like this. Like, here's the thing. I like electric cars, and I like what they're doing for the planet. But they just look so ugly, dude. It's like, you don't have to make it look like a spaceship just to show that it's electric. You know, you can make something different. You know, but like not too off. Like if there was a Lotus, right? If Lotus made an electric car, I don't know, they may be working on electric cars. I'll tell you, I don't really hear about them a lot. But if they made an electric Lotus and it looked just like this, I would be fine with that. I would be completely fine with that. I really would. You don't have to change the whole script when you're designing electric cars. And I don't know why car companies think they have to. You really don't, guys. If you just make the same car, and I'm not saying it has to be like an exact carbon copy, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I would just like the same looking car, a very, very similar looking car. Even if it didn't do anything like make noise. Like, I would just still like it. You know, so it's like, if any car manufacturer company sees this, you know, don't change the looks of your car. It's all like, at least so drastically. I want to see these similar designs. That's just me. It's just like I want to see these similar designs. Just, you know, electric. Now, I don't know if like this design and style of the car really affects whether it's a combustion engine or an electric, but if not, I would just really, really like it. If I could just get something like this, I would love to see a Lotus electric car, but just like this. I would love to. So, I just hope they don't change too drastically, because, you know, they're cool looking. I mean, cars are really cool looking. I don't want them to keep changing it up just because they think they have to. You know, if it ain't broke, I don't have to fix it. Improve, sure, but sometimes you don't have to go in trying to just, you know, mix everything up, change everything up. Sometimes change is good, but sometimes change isn't really needed. I think this car is a lot, especially to a lot of people, but this probably exceeds many expectations. This probably does things that many other cars can't, but nobody really sees that. And I want people to see this car more. I want people to know this car more. You know, and it's one thing you're like, oh yeah, I've heard of it, but to truly know this car, to truly know what it's capable of. Once you actually grasp that, it's a completely different machine.